Welcome to the Childcare C-Suite, and today we are focusing on our very first lesson, and I want all the feedback. I want you to tell me what you liked, what you didn't, but I'm just thinking about what value, what content can I create that's going to help you be successful for the upcoming school year. So today we are going to wear the hat of CFO. I want you to pretend with me that you're putting on that CFO hat. And the CFO is all things financial, all things money. So always remember that. Now, we are all gearing up for back to school, and I know you're probably working on your classrooms. I just repainted my entire building. It looks so good. So I know you're doing all of the pretty fun stuff, but you have to take a moment to focus on your numbers, because without the money, the pretty doesn't matter. Yes, the pretty is a way to get them in, but we got to make sure that we have proper enrollment. So today we are going to look at forecasting our monthly tuition, and I want to know it by enrollment, not by student. There's a big difference, guys, and until you start doing it this way, you're going to leave money on the table. So what I've created for you, this is our monthly tuition, and we are going to look at our infant classroom. With the infants, we are going to assume that we are licensed for 10 babies. 10 babies can be in this classroom. Now, right now, I am saying that these are the students I have enrolled in that class. I have 5 students who are full-time. They come Monday through Friday. They will be starting August 11th, and they will pay me $350 per week. I have 3 students who will be part-time Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at $300 a week. And then 2 of these students are Tuesdays and Thursdays, $280. At first glance, you're like, oh, wow, I am full because I have 10 students. Wrong. We are not full. We are licensed for 10 students who can be there at one given time on a particular day, right? I have 10 students, but that classroom is not filled. And why? It's because of my part-time students. So what I did, I came over and I broke them down. We know that I have 5 full-time students, so I'm just going to go ahead and account for them there. 5. Now, these are my part-timers. They can be a little tricky if you don't know how to account for them the correct way. A full-time student is considered 1. So matter of fact, let me erase this so that you can understand this. A full-time student is considered 1. How many full-time students do I have? 5. Let's do our little tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, over here, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be considered a 0.6 because they're taking up 60% of enrollment in that class. And a Tuesday, Thursday is going to be considered a 0.4. Now, if you add that up, that becomes 1.1. It'll end up being a 1 full-time enrollment. You probably have heard of FTE, full-time equivalent. Well, we're going to call it full-time enrollment. Okay, Matthew, Derek, and Erica, they are 3 babies who come to me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sam and Keisha, they come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Matthew is a match with Sam. So when Matthew comes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Sam stays home. And Sam will come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Matthew stays home. The 2 of them equal 1 enrollment because Matthew is a 0.6 and Sam is a 0.4. When I add those together, that gives me a 1.0. So Matthew and Sam equals another tally mark. Derek, I'm going to put a check, is now a match with Keisha. So that gives me another full-time enrollment. But wait a minute, what's happening here? Erica comes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That means she's a 0.4 or a 0.6. Very good. She's a 0.6. So that means I have 7 full-time enrollments or full-time equivalent. And then I have a 0.6, which is Erica. So in this class, I am 7.6 enrollments out of 10. That means I am only 76 full in that classroom. See, I had 10 students, but I'm only 76% filled. That's why it's important to track your enrollments. I don't count students. I count enrollments. Now that we understand this part, we're going to calculate our money. So take a look at this. If you need me to go through this one more time, you got to press rewind because I'm going to keep going, okay? So we're now going to add up these students to find out how much money am I going to make at 76% full. So if I don't enroll another student, how much will I make in this classroom for the month of August? That's what we're trying to figure out. So I'm going to leave all of this and I am just going to erase this part, okay? I just wanted to show you first how to calculate your enrollments because you got to know how many enrollments you have. No more counting students. It's about enrollments, okay? So now let's do some math. All right, so let me break this down. I want to know how much I'm going to make a month with the 7.6 enrollments that I have. Now, there are 4 weeks in a month, but there are some months when you will have 5 weeks, and you want to calculate that. So you can't multiply all the weeks by 4 because then you're going to miss those weeks. And you can't multiply all the weeks by 5 because you're going to come up with way more than 52 weeks. So you're going to multiply by 4.33. That's the standard accounting way to calculate for the whole year. All right. So my full-time students, we saw that I had a total of 7, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to actually do it like this. 5 times 350 times 4.33 equals. Then I'm going to do 3 students times 300 times 4.33 equals. And then 2 times $280 times 4.33 equals. Now I'm going to make this a little bit smaller because I need to be able to squeeze my money in there because I want to know how much I made. So I'm going to do some quick math with you right now on my calculator so that we can calculate this money, honey, because if it doesn't make money, it does not make sense. So 5 times $350 per week times 4.33 brings me to $7,570.50. Okay. 3 part-time students times $300 per week times 4.33 gives me $3,897. And then the last one is 2 times 280 times 4.33. That gives me $2,424.80. Now I can add these 3 numbers together, and this is going to give me how much money I can expect to make. My grand total for this classroom for the month of August is $13,899.30. Okay, that's how much I expect to make in the month of August from my infant classroom if I stay at my current enrollment. Remember, my job is to get those other 2.4 enrollments. All right. So one more thing I want to show you because I don't want you guys to sleep on part-time students. When you can get a match, if a student is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can get a Tuesday, Thursday, you make more money. So let me show you right here. My full-time student is $350. But when Sam and Keisha combine, $300 for my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and $280 for my Tuesday, Thursday. Listen, I just went from $350 per week to $580. It works when you can get the match. You know, you may lose out a little bit if you can't get the match, but look at how much more I'm going to make by having those 2 students split the enrollment. So this is what you're going to do, friends. I want you to take the time to forecast your tuition by classroom. Then you're going to add up all the classes and you're going to be able to see exactly how much you will make in the month of August, or how much revenue will come into your business. Why is this important? One, you don't have to wait for Brightwheel. You don't have to wait for ProCare, your accountant, your bookkeeper. You don't have to wait for anybody to tell you. You can know, okay, I expect to bring in almost $14,000 from this one classroom. Or if I add all of my classes, I'm expecting to bring in, let's say, $200,000 at the end of the month with my current enrollment. Why is that important? You need to make sure you can pay rent, mortgage. You want to make sure you can pay all your bills, all the food, all the groceries, and you want to forecast to make sure, okay, I can now budget. I can now say, out of this money, I want to put X amount towards, savings. I want to put X amount towards what I call, miscellaneous and repairs. It just gives you better control of your finances when you know what's coming in versus what's going out. So that's our little mini lesson today. You are going to forecast your tuition for the month. CFO, listen to me, lean in. I need you to do this. This will take 10, 15 minutes of your time. Figure out your enrollments. Don't count students, count enrollments. And you're going to do simple math. Get the number of enrollments times your weekly tuition rate, multiply that times 4.33, because that's going to account for all the months, okay, or the weeks within that month. And then that's going to show you what you're going to make for the month. I wanted to get this information to you. Download the worksheet, do this, know where you are. And see, I'm going to be working on getting these other 2.4. So I'll see you next time. I can't wait to hear from you. Have a great day, and here's to an amazing back to school.